Hi everyone, I'm Jeff, and I'd like to welcome you back to Jeff's Nonsport Card Universe, where we look at the history, evolution, and just plain fun of collecting non-sport cards. Now today we're going to look at another of my all-time favorite sets, the 1959 Topps Wacky Plaks. And I'm telling you what, these were wacky, and they did look like plaques. Now I'm going to show you an example and then get to a story. This one, I love this, one of my favorites. Have you forgotten anything? Shows a guy who's forgotten his head. And I can't tell you how many times when I was a kid, a relative said to me, boy, you'd forget your head if it wasn't screwed on. Well, okay, a simpler time, yes, but we still found these incredibly funny and we absolutely adored them. So we collected them every chance we got. All right, now a story to go with it. At this same time, in the fall of 1959, my best friend's dad had just paneled the breezeway between their house and their garage with wood paneling. We thought, what could be better than to put some of these plaques up there to make the place look homey? So we took our claw hammers and our 4-penny nails, and we nailed a whole assortment of these up on the walls. After all, they do have a little hole at the top designed so that they can be tacked onto something. Well, when Bob's dad got home, he didn't find the same wonderfulness in this. Bob got the worst whipping I've ever seen right in front of my eyes. And when my dad got home, I got the same treatment. My dad was a lefty like me, so he had sort of a roundhouse spank, and I swear I can still feel it to this day. Well, you'd think that would have stopped us, but it didn't. It emboldened us. The next day, we hammered these up every place we possibly could. But our Waterloo happened at school when we nailed a couple up to the wall in the cafeteria, and Mrs. Kegelman, the principal, saw us, confiscated our tools, and threatened to call our dads. And after what had happened the day before, we decided we weren't going to risk it. But we kept collecting them. We thought they were so funny. Now, let me show you a couple of my favorites from the set. I love this one. If you're so smart, why ain't you rich? And it shows a bum digging through a trash can looking for treasures. Again, a simpler time. I love this. Think you got troubles? Shows a parachutist about to land on a pitchfork in a bale of hay. Yeah, I love these as a kid. Smile, even if it hurts. Guy with a hatchet stuck in his head. How about this? Another of my all-time favorites. I'd rather be handsome than rich. Now, look at the illustration. Classic. We loved it, but we would know till years later this was done by the Hall of Fame artist Jack Davis, who also was doing illustrations for Mad Magazine at the time. His work was absolutely everywhere, and one of the reasons why we love this. If at first you don't succeed, oh, the heck with it. Yeah, we felt like that a lot in school. I love this. Keep calm. And it shows the wing of the engine has just fallen, or the wing of the plane has just fallen off. This is a nonprofit organization, but we didn't plan it that way. Pretty good. I love this. This is classic. How to get good marks? Cheat. Yeah, that's good advice for kids. And then another of my favorites. Think before you louse things up. Shows a guy drilling a hole in a beehive. Probably not the best idea going. And then another of the classic, time wounds all heals. All right, now, these were fabulous. We tacked them up everywhere, but there was another feature of these cards that made them extra special. Take a look at the backs here. The backs are designed like postcards. They could be mailed. At that time, a postcard stamp was 3 cents, so it wasn't a lot of money to send one of these off. Had a space for putting the address and putting a little sentiment on with them as well, as an illustration of a little rascal shoving one in a mailbox. Some of my friends did send these off, especially the more goofy looking ones, to people just as a gag, just as a joke. Pretty harmless, but I have to tell you a few things about the set. First of all, not politically correct at all by today's standards. Also, some of them are downright violent. Hatchets in the head. I've got another one here. We aim for accuracy. It's a William Tell scene. Only the arrow went through the guy's head. So very violent, not very politically correct of the time. All right, few other features of the set. There were 88 cards in this particular set. They were wood grain, yes, but there was one real problem with these. They were miscut quite often. Look how the top of this card is. That was very common to receive those in the packages that were horribly miscut, which makes it a challenge to put together a nice set today as well. All right, now they did have a hole at the top designed for people to tack these up places. That got a lot of kids in trouble. It's also a reason why it's very difficult to find them without tack holes or writing on the backs today. In terms of cost, a very nice condition card today will only set you back $5 or $6. So it's not an incredibly expensive set to put together because they were sold by the droves. Kids absolutely love these. But finding them in nice condition is going to be a big challenge, an incredible challenge. All right, now, I'll tell you a little mystery that goes with this set as well. One card in the set had haunted me all of these years. It was a card that says, "Remember the old Chinese saying," and then it's got what appears to be Chinese characters under it. This bothered me all these years that I didn't know what this meant. We figured it was just some kind of a joke. Well, I asked a scholar of ancient languages at my university, and the person said, "I've never seen anything like this before. I'm not sure what it is." So then I went to a local Chinese restaurant and asked a friend of mine who runs the place, "Can you interpret this? Can you tell me what this means?" She took a look at it and said, "You've been had." Well, as it turns out, these were made up by the artist Jack Davis. This really doesn't say anything. So I imagine Mr. Davis is probably rolling in laughter in his grave somewhere right now. All right, again, not a very difficult set to complete in terms of money, but in terms of condition, it can be a real challenge. But it is one that is a great, fun item to collect. So everybody, enjoy your cards, enjoy collecting. If you've liked what you've seen, please subscribe. And if you haven't gone to therappermagazine.com to get your free issue of The Rapper, the premier magazine for collecting non-sport cards, do that. So until next time, everybody, have fun with your collecting. See you soon.